mute these niggas. Hey, Aaron, bro, watch the stream.
Hold on, I'm in the game, bro.
Alright. Gotta go back home. Ty Hilton. I refuse to lose this game,
Coach,
bro.
thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Good run, boy.
And nice work on the return.
I got you, bro. I'm not going this game. I'm not going.
The 30-yard line.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
He got to catch it.
On his 4th franchise in 2 years,
that's on me. I seen that.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Me? No, fool, I'm on here. You still in here? You gotta send me another link, AJ.
Huh?
You gotta send me another link.
Alright. Hold on. I'll do after this play.
It's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield.
And look at the first thing I do, bro. Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Oh, you playing my boy, bro. I don't know, bro.
No question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls?
I got to, bro. It's like my passing is just not it, dog.
That one hung up just a little bit too long. He made
My
a nice
passing
play
just
on the
not
ball
it.
defensively and was able to pick it off.
Like, why do I go through
This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every time I pass, it's a pick, bro. I just never make the right pass.
Nowadays, they run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays, too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
That's my buddy, Blue. And tell Blue to take it easy, bro. I'm trying to win.
Here's the 2nd-year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He gets them a little over half of what they need, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's one.
He dropped it. Let's go.
Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there.
I like this.
Right? It certainly is.
I like this. Come on, watch one.
Extra space
We got it.
just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
It's cool. They're coming. Hold up.
Here we go on 4th.
He dropped it.
That is going to be
Let's go.
Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall.
You saw that?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've got to be thrilled to have this game still at 0-0 after the interception thrown on the very first play of the game.
They certainly do. And what I enjoyed was watching him on the sidelines because as the defense came off, he was there to congratulate him and really say thanks because he threw the interception. It didn't turn into any points.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. On 2nd down now. It's Miller, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Watson. Dancing to his left.
The crazy part is I was trying to slide, but it was lagging.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
This the time
and
to
they'll
run.
get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
No!
Watson now to throw.
Bro, I'm sitting here spamming X trying to hike the ball, bro.
Almost
like he wouldn't hike it.
Second down.
Well,
this man will not hike the ball.
That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick.
I'm sitting here spamming X.
Way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson rolling to his right.
Bad pass.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here. If
good stop, Wayne, good stop.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
3-12.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, Love.
There you go. We're taking this back.
And it's intercepted.
Man, like,
picked off by Justin Reed. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, and he'll find Akins there, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. We're scoreless after 1. Texans football to 9 to start it out.
I'm gonna start another party, I think.
Out of the gun, Watson.
You hear me?
They was really holding him, bro. Yeah. All right.
Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Watch safe the creep. Watch safe the creep.
They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Check. Check out.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up...
If he don't stop.
12. 41.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Go for it, boss.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it. It's Mack. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Luck. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Luck now to throw. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. 22 yards for a 1st down.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong in step. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. Throwing on second down, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 35. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Locke. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Now Locke. And he gets it to Funchess complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funchess. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive? And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. After the interception, it's long. Catch made here by Campbell. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Close. Hey, exit.
To throw is Locke. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. On second down, here's a run with Matt. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got his man Hilton. Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
We got this. The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
To throw again on second down. Watson with a catch made by Hopkins. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Now a first down throw, Watson. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Here's Watson. Steps away to his left. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Well, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
On 2nd and 7, Luck. Funches has it complete. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
He's not going to get me.
My 41. I'm going to wedge that.
11 and B. Check, check, check.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Pull it together. Check that, check that. Jam. Hurry, hurry.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, echo. Check 41.
Now Luck. Got an open man, that's Campbell. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 42. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. Back to throw, Luck. Campbell making the catch. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 1st and 10, Luck. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Binds. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. What they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. remember throughout my career here in defensive coaching, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now left defers to Mack. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Seems pretty obvious defensively. A key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Love. It's caught by Funches. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funches. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans cut into that lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Good way to score, bro. I know I'm trash, but he got to gas my head up.
Throwing now, Luck.
Look at this.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. So this one winds up in...